Good day, and thank you for visiting my channel, Coin Lady. Dear everyone, a new treasury dollar is being introduced, which is a debt-free money supported by tangible assets in the real world. This has been around for a while. You can see this return to fiscal responsibility on the debt clock. For the time being, I anticipate that this treasury dollar will be available both digitally and in print form. Because there are so many conflicting opinions, no one can say for sure where this is headed just now. There are some who believe it will be paper currency. Others argue that it will actually replace the dollar in the digital economy. Just remember what occurred last time we attempted to switch currencies. It's the one thing that worries me. Abraham Lincoln was gunned down. Kennedy, who will unveil the new treasury dollar, was also there. That's the one thing I'm paying close attention to. Additionally, we are entering a completely new era of finance. While other nations have made great strides in CBDC, I do not believe the US is nearly as far behind as many believe. I believe it has been under development throughout. It sparked debates, with some claiming it was a kind of resistance against CBDC. Therefore, I figured I'd also write a post about that. Who knows, maybe the pessimists may dislike this post, but what if I declared that CBD will never expire? Here's why firms and businesses of all sizes will eventually collapse. They simply do not have the cash on hand to deal with unforeseen expenses and operating costs. People should put money aside in case they incur unforeseen costs, such as those for medical care or repairs to their homes or cars. Since banks generate income by lending it out to other customers, their failure would lead to their demise. I will be happy to add to this list, or you can do the same by leaving a comment below. Furthermore, it is illogical for CBDC to expire, but I do believe UBI will. I will discuss this shortly. In their eyes, what are you to do? They are pushing for you to embrace CBDC. He insists that you utilize CBDC, just as you do with cash. What gives it away as having a finite lifespan? No one can say for sure whether they will use CBD against you, but I worry that it may be quite lethal in the hands of some bad actors. Like everything else in this world, it has the potential for both good and evil. We would see the end of UBI, or Universal Basic Income. However, when would it expire? This money would be issued and managed by the government, and it would be paid in CBDC. Their ideal new system would do away with illegal activities and money laundering altogether. If that's the case, how can you govern it? Put an expiration date on the money so individuals can't hoard it, or put it away for later. Set limits on how much each citizen class, from welfare to retirees, can receive. Do not use drugs. Do not visit a strip club. Anything that can be harmful to your health, such as cigarettes, alcohol, etc., is fair game. I purposefully kept this list brief, so that you can also contribute to it. In my view, Universal Basic Income is a terrible plan because, according to the studies conducted in the US, participants are being given $1,200 per month, a sum that, when combined with growing prices, would be barely enough to cover basic living expenses. UBI also encourages people to settle for mediocrity and never push themselves to improve their circumstances. Give in to it. If everyone got a monetary windfall every month, they'd eventually give up. They have zero interest in becoming entrepreneurs. Going to work would no longer be an issue for them. There are those who would be overjoyed to receive $1,200 monthly from the government. However, that wouldn't work. In fact, it wouldn't work to lower the cost right now. There would be no debt or inflation at the arrival of a new system. There would be a complete overhaul of our system. Most things would have been re-evaluated by that point. Imagine how drastically different the auto industry would be. In addition to a drastically altered housing market, they would hand out much less money, basically just enough to cover basic living expenses, and probably wouldn't even let you save any of it. Some have suggested workarounds, mentioning tools you might be able to employ. Perhaps the drug dealer sets up shop and offers this for sale. People will find a method to circumvent the system, I'm sure, because he is selling drugs. However, I feel compelled to mention that CBDC may not have an expiration date. Reflect about it. Going to work and getting paid in CBDC is great, but it will expire sometime. No one would ever sign up for it, but the government could control the outcomes of a universal basic income program, as it is free money. My intention was to convey that message. The German government allegedly has no more Bitcoin on hand. When their Bitcoin supply runs out, you might not see the Bitcoin maxi stating, "Good, let them sell it," every single day. That decision will haunt them in the long run. Regarding this matter, nevertheless, I believe Germany is aware. It seems to me that Germany dumped all of their Bitcoin at this particular moment for a purpose. Additionally, it should be noted that the US government has also just sold off a portion of its Bitcoin holdings. Even though they said it backwards, a UK bank will not take Bitcoin used to purchase a home. Your email is greatly appreciated. Verification regarding the nature and origin of the funds is necessary. If I understand your source of funds questions correctly, you have indicated that the monies have been obtained from savings. How did all this cash come to be? Our company does not accept payments made using cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Furthermore, I anticipate that this trend will continue as we move forward. Sure, I irritated a lot of folks by bringing that up on X, but hey, I'm just giving people the facts. Every day, you hear news like these or see examples of how Bitcoins are linked to illegal activities. Things are always evolving in the Bitcoin world. They will find a solution to the problem when they regard Bitcoin as a problem, hence, they will not have competition for a CBDC. And that gets me to my argument. According to David Schwartz, it takes 10 minutes for Bitcoin transaction confirmations. It would be around $8. Around 10 or 12 transactions per second is the transaction throughput rate. The answer to the double spend issue is subpar. In terms of objective evaluations, it's clear that the consensus is lacking. Its success stems from the fact that it was the first of its kind and expanded throughout time. That has no bearing. Even if the US dollar is the most advanced fiat currency in terms of technology, I still don't use it. Just because it's the norm doesn't mean I have to. It's the standard in my neighborhood. I use it in something else to beat the US dollar only on technical merits, because it's the biggest. Although it's hard to imagine, that must be some aspect of Bitcoin's goal, isn't it? It's contesting the dollar on the basis of some technical merit. Going it alone, it's tough to come out on top in the cryptocurrency market due to the fact that proof of effort came first is, in my opinion, something of a tragic historical accident. According to David, the goal of Bitcoin is not to displace the US dollar. Firstly, nobody is going to use something that is both expensive to use and still has a lot of issues, such as Bitcoin's slowness and lack of security. Every day, all over internet, you'll see people claiming, just wait until Bitcoin replaces the US dollar. This is despite the fact that David Schwartz, who is widely believed to be Bitcoin's creator, has said that Bitcoin would never replace the dollar. Just wait for the US money to be backed by Bitcoin. At this point, it's just plain silly. I felt compelled to bring this out, because XRP has no intention of ever replacing the US dollar. Thank you for watching my channel and for subscribing. I'll see you later.